Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now and see me? Yes, right? Now, okay? Yes, okay, great. Thank you for the response. So, yes, for those of you who didn't join the first session, I am Thayiba Ifhamdeen and I will be conducting the second session for the day. So, just rewinding everything that I did in the first session, you can get the recording in Elevate Academy's YouTube channel. So we did questions on prose, poems, and drama. I couldn't do a question in drama, so today I will be covering that up. But we did questions, timed questions from poems, and also prose, explaining one main scenario from the prose. And I will be providing the answer scripts in the group so that you can do and check your answers. And we did like exam type questions so that it will make easier to save your time during the exam. So today we have the novel work to be done. So I'm not going to explain about the novel. You are the ones who are going to do the novel for me today, because we have three novels, and it's not practical for me to do all three novels together, because when I'm doing one novel, the other two people who are doing the ones who are doing the other two novels are going to find it boring. So we're going to do all three simultaneously. So I have come up with something for that. Before that, can I just have a voting for those who are doing vendor of sweets? I just want to see if we have people of all three novels here. The ones doing vendor of sweets, can you please raise your hands? One, two, three, four, no, three. Okay, only three out of six. Okay, four out of six doing vendor of sweets. Okay, nice. So, Prince and the Pauper. One doing Prince and the Pauper, and then bringing Tony home. One doing Prince. Okay. So as all three novels are here, then I will be doing all three novels. So it's going to be more, of you explaining me what is going to happen in the novel area, because I think according to novel, it's the duty is upon us to read the novel, explain the novel to us ourselves, because that is how I learn. I had a target of, if we had 21 chapters in the Vendor of Sweets, I had 21 days before the exam. I started reading the novel all over from the beginning, and one chapter every day, and I try to like understand what it means, and I try to portray different scenarios of from one chapter, because when it comes to literature, you don't have to limit your creativity, your thinking process to one narrow idea. You can just divert, and you can think of many ideas on how you can take that story to. And that is what I did when it came to my entire literature subject, and that is what I'm advising you also to do. Okay, because only then you can write. If you write a quotation, and if you don't have stuff to explain, that is where your thinking, your creativity is lacking. So make sure that you think enough, you think broad enough for you to write a lot on your essays. So you can I'll just share the screen of the tude. Today what we're going to do, I'll let you know. So I hope you can see the screen. Yes. So for the day two, we have novel, and I have given just three sides of what's going to happen for the day from each novel. So as you can see from Vendor of Sweets, I have given you 10 questions, and then from Prince and the Pop, I have given you 10 questions, and Bringing Tony Home, I've given you 10 questions. A small typing error in Bringing Tony Home. The author is not supposed to be Beryl Gilroy. It's supposed to be Tissa Abesekara. My bad. I'm sorry. Please correct it. So I have given you, this is what I mean about thinking beyond the novel. So I have given you 10 scenarios, 10 questions, like one scenario and 10 questions how and the different ways of how you can think that's going to happen in that scene. Okay, so I know there are people from all the novels here. So this is your work. I'm going to give you 2 minutes each for each of the question, like how we did the time question. You're going to think beyond what you have learned. Just, when you read, you get an idea. Okay, this person is doing that. That is not what we're going to do here. We are going to think about real life situations. How can we connect that to this story? You're going to do each question like that. Okay. Uh, Till here, are we like clear? Can I have a thumbs up, please? Yes. Great. Okay. Thank you. So we're going to do question by question. So for vendor of sweets, the scenario is Jagan's son returns home with new ideas that surprise him. That's a broad subject. From the time Jagan's son enters the house, that's how the entire story is going to go. The plot is. So then that's the scenario given for vendor of sweets. And your first is to predict. What do you think Jagan will do after hearing son's plans? So you can connect the story that they have given you. You're going to write at least 100 words of paragraph to this, explaining, or more than that. That's up to you. But in 2 minutes, how much ever you can write, you're going to write. And let me know the story. You're going to teach me the story today uh, uh, with regard to each question. And then from Prince and the Pauper, the scenario is where the Prince and the Pauper, they swap the clothes and experiences for the first time. So you're going to predict what problems might arise from the swap. So that's a very broad subject. What kind of problems from both sides you're going to analyze? What's going to happen on the Prince side and what's going to happen on the Pauper's side? And the last one, predict how do you think the sorry, to bringing Tony home. The scenario is Tony returns home after a long time away, and you're going to first predict how do you think the family will react to Tony's return. So these are your first questions. So I will be sharing the timer with you. I will need you to uh, do it in 2 minutes, how much ever you can write for this first question. Okay? Is that clear? Yes? Okay. So your time starts now. Please write, please do write, and be prepared to either read it out or send it in the chat box for me. I will read and answer your questions. Sorry, a small change in the timing. You'll be given 5 minutes for each question because I think you need more time to write on the context. So you can continue, okay? Okay, time up. Now, first of all, before we move on to the discussion, can someone tell me the meaning of predict? I think that's important before we start discussing the question. Can someone tell me the meaning of predict? Assume. Okay, very good. Only one? Okay, I assume it's only one then. Okay, so prediction means yes, estimating close. Prediction means that you have your opinion on something before the actual thing happens. You give an idea this is going to happen in the future before it has actually happened. That's how what that is what you mean by predict. Now, when you see each of the cases that I have given you, so if you see the first one, vendor of sweets, I have given you about Mali entering the house with new ideas that is going to surprise Jagan. So you are going to first predict. You're not going to give it from the book. You're going to tell me what happens when according to Jagan's personality characteristics, what will happen when Mali tells about his new ideas? That is what I need. Can someone who does vendor of sweets give me that, please, in the chat box? I can give you time to type it out, or even you can unmute and tell it to me. But I need an answer from you because this is what your perspective is about. Same goes to Prince and the Pauper. When they swept clothes, what will happen? What are the problems that might arise according to you? Because you are predicting this novel now. You're going to be the author. If you're going to be the author, what will you write? I need that. Same applies to bringing Tony home. When Tony is returning after a long time, how do you think the family will react? Can I have an answer, please? I need 100% cooperation because I'm doing this. A novel is the hardest part when it comes to writing essays or answering your 10-mark question. That's because you lack of that, going beyond the novel. That's what we all lack in. So I'm trying to bring that out. So please help and cooperate and give me your answers. I can correct it. I'm 100% available to look into your mistakes and help you with your exam. So please do give me your answers. If you can at least take a picture of it and upload it, super. Okay, meanwhile you're sending your answers, let me tell about how I will predict these three scenarios. So first one, if you see vendor of sweets, when Mali is entering the house with new ideas, according to Jagan's personality, I would say that he's a person who's not going to adapt to it immediately because he's someone who doesn't spend much, someone who's trying to live a minimalistic life. Whereas Mali on the other side is not such kind of a personality. He wants to have a luxurious life. He wants to keep spending, and Jagan is a total opposite. So if Mali is going to express his new ideas, of course Jagan is going to know that it's going to cost a lot, and he knows that Mali is not going to stand with his uh, aim or with his idea forever because Mali is someone who keeps changing stuff according to his own comfort. So if Mali is going to express his new ideas, I will predict that Jagan is not going to be 100% supportive to all of those ideas. This is how I will think when it comes to vendor of sweets. Then when you see Prince and the Pauper, when swapping might be easy, but the consequences of swapping are actually big because being a pauper, he doesn't know how a prince lives. Being a prince, he doesn't know how the pauper lives. So their lifestyles are totally different, and they have to know about it when they're swapping. So without knowing when they step into each other's lives, it's going to be a miss, and it can actually pave way for getting caught soon by people because they know how the body language. Obviously, when you live with a person, when you live with a group of people for more than a few years, they're going to know how your body language is, how you behave. So if there's a difference in that, they're going to find out soon. That's what will happen in Prince and the Pauper. And when considering bringing Tony home, right? Yeah. So now because Tony was left before a long time, like he was left out and gone. So when returning, it's going to be a mixed emotion. It's going to be like a lot of emotions that's going to come at once. Memories that has, that comes upon like their old house. A lot of things will happen. A lot of changes. It will be hard for the family to adapt again because now they have got used to live without this person, and now suddenly he is making an entrance. So it's a lot of emotions, a shock, hesitation, emotional tension because of his long absence. So all of this is what I predict through these three scenarios. So I've got an answer. Let's read. I've got an answer from Akhil. Can we start it with how Jagan reacts when Mali first says he doesn't want his father's food, when he says he can't go to school, and how he reacts when he tells that he wants to go to America? Yes, pretty much. But again, you're taking it from the novel when I asked for your own prediction. Good answer, but it's going to be based on the novel. So what I need is not achieved here, but good answer. Yes, how he says that he doesn't want stuff from his father, but eventually he goes to Jagan for money to go to America. So yes, correct. And I've got another answer. Download it. Give me a minute. I'm opening that answer. Yes. He will rebel against this idea because he wants his son to run the shop after him, and thereby he won't agree to give money. Correct. That's what Jagan wants. He doesn't want Mali to go anywhere. He just wants him to stay and look after the shop. Good idea. Again, something from the novel, but it's okay. You'll have understood. You're like getting it. You're answering, so I'm happy about that. Anyone else? Any answers from Prince and the Pop and bringing Tony home? I'm trying to do all three. I did vendor of sweets for my exam, but I somehow tried to learn about other two novels because I've read them before. So I'm trying my best. Please have bringing Tony home and Prince and the Pauper. Can I have some answers, please? If not, we'll move to the next question. Right. I think that's all. Okay. So our next question. Now it's the hot seat. So basically, hot seat means that you are in that place. Now, in Vendor of Sweets, I have given asking you to imagine that you are Jagan and you're going to express your feelings about your son's decisions in first person. Now, you are Jagan. How are you going to react to your son's decisions? That is the hot seat question I have given you. So, let me know how you're going to react. For Mali. So, you're going to talk to Mali. Now, Mali is your son. How are you going to talk to him with regard to his decisions? Prince and the pauper. Now you're the pauper now in the palace, and describe how you feel. You're the one who swept life with the prince, and you're now in the palace living a prince life. And how are you feeling about it? How is the atmosphere for you? How are you going to keep up that emotions? Hot seat for bringing Tony home is that you're Tony. Describe your emotions in first person upon seeing your family again. So seeing your family after a long time again, how was that first meet after so many years? This is the hot seat question. You have 5 minutes. Please elaborate and write because I need your imagination here because you are now the person. Let's see how you are going to carry on the story. If you're real good literature people, you will create a story from this within 5 minutes. So let's see, okay? Your time starts now. Time up. Okay. Uh, so again, I will need an answer as requested. Yes. So we have gone to the hot seat part. Can someone give me an answer? I'll just start off with that video because last time I told the answers first. So maybe if someone can give me an answer this time. Okay, I've got a response. I'm not getting that. Anyone else has an answer? As Jagan, I'm deeply troubled by Mali's decisions. He's my son and I want the best for him, but his father often tried to outrage my mother. Very good, Akhil. That's a very good answer. Because you have actually gone to Jagan's place while expressing your thoughts about your son. So that's a very good answer. And Christine, I'm unable to open your folder. Okay, let me see. Not opening. So I'm not able to view it. But if you can resend it, yes, I'll look into it. But that's a really good answer by Akhil. Does anyone else have a response? I'm not getting responses for the other two novels. I will stop the discussion for the other two novels if there aren't anyone. Because I feel like I am just talking about it and nobody's getting it. So let me know if you don't need the other novels. It will be easier for me. Okay? Right. So as Akhil's response is on the chat. You can see like how as Jagan, how you can be worried about your son going against cultural values, going against your own culture, doing stuff that your parent. I mean, as a parent, I don't want him to do it. He wants his child to be well. Okay, what's that? Okay, I have got the answer. Son, I cannot understand why, but you've changed a lot. I'm running this business for you and you should take over it. But now you have new ideas as according to our culture. Pins and we work accordingly. Please listen some. Plus, I don't have enough funds to invest now. Don't write plus and everything, okay, in your answers. That's not the proper way of writing. I don't have enough funds to invest your business. Is a good point. That's also a good answer by Christine. So good answers given up. Can we have a round of applause for Akhil and Christine for giving us responses? So yes, very good with those answers. How you are being on that place because it's very important when it comes to literature to think on your character's position. That's what literature teaches us most of the time. We have to put ourselves in that character's position and think. Only then we can write a lot, think a lot, and also when you are a vivid book reader, also that's what you should do. So what gained my interest into literature also was because of that only when I got my novel, when I used to write essays, that's how I used to think and that's how I wrote. And as I said in the first session, each of your essays try to write for 3 sides. And when it comes to now English literature essays, especially, you should at least have 5 to 6 points to prove. Make sure you do that to get your deserved marks. So usually you might be having an aim, right? I have to get more than 10 or something. So for that I will do a session, do a small this thing on that. So we'll come back to that later. I've got two perfect answers, so I'm not going to explain. And I got another response again for vendor of speech. So I'm not explaining for Prince and the Pauper and bringing Tony home. Looks like nobody needs it. So I'm saving a lot of time by not explaining that. If you need it, please do give me a message, then I'll explain. So from Sarah, as a parent of Mali, I am worried by Mali has changed, and I keep thinking what has influenced him to think like that. His business plan is not that practical, and I don't have much money to invest on his business. He should understand the fact and understand the reality. Good, but you can be a bit more elaborative and specific as to what stuff that you are asking him to, understand the reality upon. But a very good hot seat question. I didn't expect, but you have done it really well. So next we'll be moving on to another part. So I won't be doing morality. We'll be going to character analysis. So based on this, I want you to give a character analysis on Jagan. That's the question for vendor of sweets. Yes. Why is this? Okay. What does this scene reveal about Jagan's personality? That's the question. So can you all start writing about Jagan's personality, please? I need to stop the share. So you all have 5 minutes again. Start. I've got one answer. If anyone else is done, we can stop. I forgot to say that. Yeah, so I've got another response. Then shall we stop? Yes, time up. Okay. So let me first read the answers I have got from two people. First, let's read Sarah's. This shows Jagan's concern about his son and how he wants him to understand the fact that storytelling machine is not a good idea. Jagan is a cowardly father who is afraid and worried about his son. He wishes the best for him, but he can't express the ideas and thoughts he has. Jagan is also concerned about Mali's change towards the culture and about the marriage with Grace. Uh, Good stuff brought out about Jagan's personality, but you can also bring out about how his generational gap, like how futuristic Mali thinks and how much behind Jagan is when it comes to his thinking. You can elaborate on that also, because that is the reason why he didn't allow Mali to be on his way. As a father, he also has his own mistakes, like how Mali has his own mistakes, Jagan also has, because sometimes because a few mistakes done by Jagan also led Mali to the wrong path. Okay, parenting that side. Okay, if you see. Then Christine's answer: he loves his mother very dearly as he's his son without a mother. Okay, his son. Okay, he's a person without a mother. Jagan earns for his son to have a good future. He doesn't want to have arguments and conflicts with his son, but very much yearns for a word from his son. Jagan is one who follows Indian customs and thereby raises Mali in the same way. But when okay, it's like this. You have to be more specific about Jagan here than telling the things that does for his son. Okay, you have to mention one trait, and why are you mentioning about that trait? That's how you have to explain when it comes to essays also. You have to mention, quote something, and you have to explain about how that is relating to the question. My question is character analysis on Jagan, but I am getting about him being a father. Now he was not only a father, he was a husband, he was a son. So in that analysis also you have to give me. It's a broad subject when it comes to Jagan. In each of his character, how did his personality differ? Like as a son, what kind of a person he was? As a husband, what kind of a person he was? And as a son, as a father-in-law, and as a normal human being, what kind of a person he was? That's how the character analysis should be. Everything should be specific because he's playing many roles in this novel. Was that clear? Can I have a thumbs up if yes? Okay, I've got another answer. Jagan wants to explain Malik that his ideas like skipping school and producing story machines, but doesn't want to apply any roles because it might lead to rebellion and distance among father and son. Due to this phase, Jagan does not want to. It's again about Jagan restricting Mali. The story, the entire novel does not revolve around Jagan restricting Mali. So the answers you have given are not related to the question, but related to the novel. So I can't accept any three of these answers that I read out as an answer for the question. So I hope you understood what I meant by character analysis of Jagan, and I hope you correct your answer and write again. Okay. So now, as we have been doing novel, we'll do a bit of. We have done three questions now. So I need everybody to go to the seminar tour, and day 2 I have given right over there. Yes, sir. So I want you to do some coloring on this page, because if not, we'll be talking and I'll be talking and disturbing. I mean, keeping on talking. So we're going to do a bit of coloring because of that. So I'll start off with the coloring. You all also please color with me. Just a 5-minute work to just refresh the brain. If not, it will be so boring all the time. Wrong. I hope everyone is coloring. Please thumbs up, okay? Can I have a thumbs up if everyone is coloring? We did this in the last session too. Uh, okay. You can color on the screen as well. It's okay. You can, I have given annotation. I think so. You can color on the screen also. Okay. Just color. Don't scribble. Is everybody coloring? Everyone in the meeting? Please take the color and just at least color one thing. I know you guys might be stressed now because of the exam, so let's do a bit of chill work. I almost colored three stuff on. Not bad, it's looking colorful. Okay, right, enough. So we'll be now going for a 5 minute break. Please be here at 3. Okay? Go around, have a small walk, drink some water, and please be ready at 3. Right. Okay. Enough. I think we had a 10 minutes of refreshing mode. Now we are coming back to study mode. Okay. So we've been doing novel now. We have a small break from that. Apart from that, and we go to drama. Okay, because I couldn't discuss at least one drama question last session. So I'll be discussing one question for now, and then we will be moving on. Um, 1 minute. Um, so please turn to page number 18. We're going to discuss the drama under the wait. Yeah, after pros is your question number 5. That's the drama we're going to discuss. We're going to discuss that drama. So please turn to that and try answering until I. Yeah, okay. I can say now. Okay, so now you can see. Right. So here I have given you one situation about the drama. It's about how Popova and Smyrna are conversing about the death. That is a scenario because that is how the story evolved. The story was brought up because of this conversation. So I have given this, and this is the main plot of the drama. So we are going to generate like the 10 questions have been generated based on this scenario, and we're going to answer them. Okay. So first of all, they're asking us who are the main characters in this scene. Can someone tell me who are the main characters in this scene? Yes, can someone tell me in the chat box, please, who are the main characters in this scene? Okay, Popova and Smirnov. Yes, very good. 1 minute, I'm having a small issue. Okay, so your answers have to be Popova and Smirnov here. Okay, yes. So then next, what is the reason for Smirnov's visit to Popova? What is the reason? Suppose they will play the date. Yes. Okay, correct answer. Anyone else answers, please? Yes, so the idea here is right, but when you're writing it as an answer for your literature question, you're supposed to word it properly. So how I would word the same exact answer is demanding an immediate repayment of a debt owed by Popova's late husband. That's how you have to write your answer. Please don't write like how you talk because that's not a proper way, and the examiners won't find it pleasing to read those kind of answers. Okay. If you're writing, you have to write an answer like Repayment of a debt. Please write the answers. I'm writing it for you to copy it down. Owed by Popova's late husband. Right, okay. So these are the answers. I've just zoomed it. Okay. So then going to the next question. How does the conflict escalate in this scene? So how does the conflict escalate? Can someone tell me how it does? Yeah, I had people answering no before the break while you went, thinking that this thing is over. Question number 3. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Question number 3 is, how does Popova react to Smirnov's demand? She reacts very calmly in tone. Okay. Anything else? But what does she do? Mainly, what does she do? Like, she answers calmly, but what does she answer saying? First, she kindly rejects, saying she will return the money day after. Okay, yeah. So that's the immediate reaction. So first, she refuses to pay back. I mean, she refuses him, saying that she can't pay it back now, and asks him to wait. That's the answer. Okay. So says that she doesn't have the money. Yes, correct. She refuses to pay immediately and asks him to wait. This should be your answer. What you have given is also right. At first, she kindly rejects, saying that she'll return the money day after. You can specify the day, and then she doesn't have the money immediately is also right. Next, what arguments do the characters use during the confrontation? What arguments do they use? Meaning, like, what do they argue on? That is the arguments that I've asked for. So, I think this question is a bit confusing, so I'll answer it. So they argue about money, responsibility, pride, personality, personal insults, and also about gender inequality. Like how Smirnov is way more, stronger than Popova about that. So answer about the opposite gender is also right. So they fight about money. That's how argument started, and then they talk about responsibilities, how like how each of them fulfill their responsibilities, because Popova has been like mourning about her late husband. So that kind of conversation, and both of them have pride, like they're proud about each other. So they start talking about like what they know about, like what they know, their skills and stuff. They start talking about that, and the sacrifices they do. They start talking about that, and then personal insults is where Smirnov, beauty correct. Where Smirnov scolds Popova about telling that how what kind of an immature person she is, and how Popova scolds Smirnov like how rude, arrogant he is, demanding a person who's mourning for money. So all of those. I think you got it, so I'm not going to write the answer for that. So next question. How does the conflict escalate in this scene? So yes, can I have an answer for that? How does it escalate? Escalate means how did the problem start growing, and like how did it become serious? It was just a conversation at the beginning, and it started becoming very serious. Became a fight. How? Okay. That's because of threats, personal threats to each other, and then shouting, and angrily scolding at each other. Smono refusing to go, like reluctance. Because of those kind of situations, the conflict started to escalate. So you can write maybe shouting, anger, reluctance. Now I am writing short words. Make sure you lengthen it and write, because I have limited amount of space. I gave you limited amount of space. I know that, but try to write long sentences as much as you can. That's how you get full marks. Okay. Reluctance and threats, like each threatening to kill each other, to fight against each other. So all of those threats also escalated the conflict. Next question. What does this scene reveal about Smirnov's personality? Very interesting question. Can someone tell me what does it reveal about Smirnov's personality? Give me words. No, admiring Popova is beauty of the Popova is at the end. Now we are talking about not the money conversation. That is a scene. Remember, that's a scenario I've given. This shows how Smirnov is arrogant, rude, and the character. Very good, Sarah. That is a very good answer. Inconsistent in his emotions. Very good. So that's about Smirnov. He is short-tempered, rude, aggressive, impatient, and yeah, inconsistent in his emotions. A very good answer, because he was never onto one emotion or one thing about Popova. He kept changing his ideology or his perspective about that person standing in front of him. Okay, so you can use that as well. Is that clear till here? Because I get responses only from two people. So hope everyone is engaging. Can I have thumbs up from everybody else? I have 9 people here. Okay. Yes, that's a good response. Okay, thank you so much. So then next, we'll be moving on to the next page. How is Popova's character shown through her response to Smirnov? Popova's character now. Tell me, can someone who has not responded till now give me an answer? I would like to see your response. Hello. Just give a few words, then we can construct the sentences through that. Can I have a few words about Popova's character based on your idea and the scenario also? Keep the scenario in mind. Having a response. Very soft and loyal. Soft and loyal, you can answer if this scenario was about mourning. But now we're talking about the conversation between Smirnov and Popovano. So in that, she's not soft or loyal. So you can't bring in those two here. I told you. Bit rude, and she keeps on shouting at my jaw to show that she's short tempered and sister whatever. Okay, rude is a good answer, and I've got another answer. Strong woman, brave and kind. Okay, brave and kind, challenging. Very nice responses, but based on this, she's stubborn is one. I would say she's stubborn because she was asked to return the money and she stood strong that she's not going to give the money today. She's stubborn. Strong-willed. Okay, so basically she's very much stronger that she was able to fight a man. So though she was mourning about her late husband, she seemed a little soft for us at the beginning. But eventually when the story goes, we see her as a woman who's brave enough to stand up for a man, even though she doesn't have a husband beside her. So she's strong-willed. Rude is an answer that you can take because she was also standing one on one against Smirnov. And then proud. she's proud of the actions that she do. Like she's mourning over a late husband who cheated on her, that she accepted it, but she's proud that she's, loyal to him. Okay. Challenging is a good answer. Then don't mention kind, because then when coming to Smirnov, she's not a kind person, because here they've asked her response to Smirnov. She was not kind to Smirnov, so don't give kind as an answer. Strong, yes. Challenging, yes. Brave, yes. Rude, yes. Short-tempered, okay. Worried about her dead husband does not come to Smirnov. So you can write strong-willed, uh, proud. Forgot the other one. Stubborn. These are what I would give. Right? Okay. Is that clear to everyone? Okay. Beautiful. Thank you. Next question. How does this scene highlight the themes of conflict, pride, and humor? So, though it's a very serious drama that was at the beginning, at the end, everything becomes a joke. And it has all the characters, or like all kind of emotions involved in this. Okay. So, how does this specific scene highlight conflict, pride, and humor? Can someone explain? I've asked for answer for the seventh question. Sorry, eighth question. Why have I got repetition as an answer? Anyone else? Because he repeats what she says. No, I think you haven't got the answer. So basically, how this scene highlights the themes of conflict, pride, and humor is because you see these serious arguments become exaggerated, and at last, all of them, turn into humor, right? So first of all, you're having serious arguments about the money. I can't give the money. No, you have to give the money. And then they start talking about like, scolding each other, throwing harsh words at each other. They keep doing this, and at a point, both of them fall for each other, and that becomes a complete humor at the end. That's what you're supposed to say here. How this scene highlight all the three themes: conflict, pride, humor. All three themes are covered from this one scene. Okay. Humor is shown in both of them are inconsistent in the emotions. That's a good answer, Sarah. In arguing, yes. So I'll write the answer. Serious arguments. What's wrong? Right, that's the answer. Next question I've asked, explain the scene in your own words. What happens and why is it important in the play? So I'm going to give you like 2 minutes to write about the scene, because this has to be totally your words. If you have learned this properly and if you know this very much, you will do it. So your time starts now. I'll give you 2 minutes to write about this scene. If you're done, you can just let me know. A very short answer. Christine, can you elaborate? Okay, time up. So basically, you have to explain the scene. So if I start, I can tell by. So this scene is where Popova is like mourning about on her husband and talking to Luca about how loyal she is and what her husband has done and what she has done for him. Then appearance of Smirnov saying that her husband owed him an amount of money for like to feed the horses. He had got some food from Smirnov and he has not paid that, and he needs the money because he is in desperate need, as he is about to lose something of his own possession if the money is not returned to that person. And Popova, she says that first of all, she is reluctant to meet him, but as Smirnov says that he won't leave without the money, she comes in person and starts to talk to him, explaining that she doesn't have any money and they'll give the money through somewhere day after tomorrow. But Smirnov is reluctant. He keeps saying no, that he needs the money, and the conversation goes from a calm conversation to a serious conflict, and the story develops. This is how the scene goes. So this is how much you should explain about the scene when it comes to explaining in your own words. And why is it important in the play? Because Smirnov and Popova were both different individuals who never knew each other. But because of this conversation, because of this scene, the story developed where eventually both of them ended up being together. Both unite. I mean, they were united because of this, and because of this conversation. The conversation was portrayed through this scene. So this is why this scene is important for the play. So this is how much you have to write. Okay, I'm taking in words. Hope you got the idea. Yes, I can read. I'll read Sarah's answer now. This scene is when Smirnov comes to collect the money and Popova rejects. Smirnov wants the money as soon as possible. Don't use short form words. Okay. As he wants to give the money, Popova couldn't return the money as she's still mourning for her husband. No, couldn't return the money was a different reason. Okay, that's not the reason. Plus, not enough when explaining the scene in your own words. Yes, last question. I was supposed to cut it down. It has come. But usually you can do visual imagery when it comes to this scene, because you can think about two people talking, and when they tell that the bear, this drama was named the bear, explaining about Smirnov's appearance. Okay, he looked like a bear, not a bear, but his appearance is more like of a bear. So you can imagine it visually, like in your head about how this scene is carried on. So you can bring out visual imagery as a literary device, but because there's no specific evident ones, I cut the question off. Okay, so that's about our drama. Is everybody clear? I hope I summarized the entire drama through this question. Can I have a response if everyone is clear about this drama now? And if you all have any questions, yes, please put it up. I will ask. I will answer. Right. Okay. So I hope that's a yes. So I'm stopping that part there. Right. Nice. Then we have finished one drama question. We have finished three parts of the novel. And now, for another fun, quick session, I am going to send a Kahoot link in the chat box. You're going to do a Kahoot quiz. I won't say what the quiz is about, but it's going to surprise you all when I was doing, I was very much excited to share this with you all. So I'll send the link and I'll start the quiz. You can join in, okay? Okay. One minute, let me share the screen also now. Okay. Send. You can join. Start right now. Are you joining, everyone? Everyone, please join through the link. I've shared the screen for the. Okay. Okay, one person. Very good. Where are the others? Come on, it's some fun session, right? Today's the last day of literature webinar also, so we have to have some fun also. Come, join everyone, please. I have sent the link in the chat box. Just press that and then you will be guided. You just enter the game pin. Okay, there's one. Okay. What happened, Sarah? So press the link, you'll be directed to a Google page. Okay. Wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Everyone who's in the meeting, please join. Before I start calling out names, hope everyone joins. Okay, I'll send the link again. Yes. Hold on. Let's start. Don't leave once you've joined. I'll start it by 3:31, okay? Okay, it's 3:31 now. Quickly, 30 seconds only. Okay, I'm starting. 3, 2, 1. You have only 15 seconds each question. Okay, next. Very good. Okay, okay. If you all have listened to my last session, you all would know how important this is. No one answered this right. Okay, yes, we have right answer. Okay, very good. Let's go. Keep the energy going. Okay. Very good, Rifaka. Keep the streak going. If you're still planning to join, you can join. The game pin is there down. Okay, very good. Keep it up, everyone. That's good. Not bad. You're finishing before the time. Right. Okay. Let's see. Next one. Second one is the right answer. You should know how specific you should be, okay, when it comes to the names. That is why this quiz is for. Right. Correct. Okay. No one is beating up Rifakat now. Keep it going. If you're still planning to join, use the link and join. Okay, three people have got it right. Gabriel Okara, the name is very important to study. I told it in the first session. Not bad. Very good. Okay. Right. Very good. The right answer was the third, and only one person could get it. That's a very tricky name. Learn it. Oh, okay. Someone got. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Everyone should get right for this. Yes. Very good. Most of you all have got it. Okay. So we are back to the scoreboard. Very good. This is why I told the name Gabriel is really important. Okay. See, still mistake. Know the names, please. Very important. Okay. Very good. All of you all have got this right. Right. Next. Good. I just changed only a few letters. See, don't get confused, okay? That was very quick. Very good. Okay. Next. Very good. Everyone has got this right. Okay. One person couldn't answer. Last question of this entire quiz. Okay, very good. Everyone has got this right. Right. Let's see. Very good. I don't know the name, but Re. Okay, Rifakat. And first place goes to Sarah. Very good. So I think Rifakat and Sarah had a competition. That was good to see you are doing this. Right. Okay. I'll stop the share. So did you all learn something and was it fun? Let me know, please. Yes. Okay. Okay. So this is how careful you should be when it comes to the name. Shall we have another one? I prepared only one, but you'll be getting this Kahoot quiz in the group. You'll be having it in terms of flashcards so that you can learn. Because I think this is way more effective to learn the names. So yes, I'll send this in the group. Okay, I happy to see the comments that you all have actually learned and it was fun. So maybe in future, if we can, we'll do another Kahoot. But for today, this is what I planned. And yeah, again, coming back to the actual point of this quiz is to be sure of the spellings. So for some, I changed the E and A, and you all got confused. That is how your marking is going to be as well. When it comes to the name, don't ever think it's just 1 mark. It's 1 mark because you are not sure of your marks for the essays. So make sure you grab all the marks you can from context. That's how much clever and alert you should be. Okay. So moving on to the last part of this entire webinar is how you're going to do your literature paper. I've spoken a lot of times about this, but today I'm going to be like, giving you tips I'm going to teach you how exactly you should do the paper and your essays especially. Okay, so I'm sharing the screen. Okay. So that day I was talking about how to, write your essays for the poems, and I told that poem when you write, it's very easier to write the poem essays because you're going to learn lines from the poem. So make sure at least 6 points are written for you to like for you to know that your essay is worth it. That 15 marks. You should be very much aware of how many points you're writing, and your conscious mind should know that okay, I'm writing this enough for my entire 15 marks. Quotations don't need to memorize the entire poem. Now, no time to memorize the entire poem as well. So, under each theme, you might have a favorite, or you might, already know the lines because you've been repeating it again and again for the last 2 years. Just note the lines. If you write 2 lines, and if if you write like this, and if you write the 2 lines, if you put the dots and close the quotation, you're referring to the entire, paragraph of that poem, entire stanza. So you're going to explain the entire stanza. That's how the work is going to be. Because according to the examiner's view, it's going to be like if you know how to write your essay. Explain properly, write properly, and make sure you use literary devices wherever you can. Okay? And introduction, conclusion, I told you not to write a lot. Don't write about the author's background and stuff. It's not going to give you marks. Any essays, introduction, conclusion, half to 1 mark only. Conclusion is a bit important, but introduction, just the name of the poem, the name of the poet, and then you write about what this poem is about. Basically, copying the question because you're going to prove it. Make sure you have a good conclusion. Conclusion is very important because you're going to. Conclusion is going to be about how you're going to end your question with a proper closure. You have proved it, and yes, I have proved it. Here are my this thing. Basically, when you're writing essays, argue with the paper. It's not going to argue back, no, so you can tell anything to that, but argue with the paper and write your answers. Okay? Then prose drama, when it comes to, most of you had the problem with the quotations for this part. So if you ask me about quotations for these two, how I learned quotation is, like there are significant places in both of them where I can learn quotations from. Now, in case if you see the nightingale and the rose, the point where it goes and talks the trees, asking for a red rose. So those are very prominent and significant places where you can write essays for any type of question. That's how I selected my quotation. Go to your theory part, select quotations from where you can write for any question given. Now because we are in this ending part, the last lap of this exam, we have to handle it, in a tactical way. They are not going to sit with the books and spend time on learning each and every line. We are going to take it in a practical way, and this is how we're going to learn. You are going to go like if from Lahore attack, you can take quotations from the commotion scene. Where you can take about how the tsunami is coming and hitting most of the speakers' dialogues. Lahore attack, Nicholas's dialogues. So all of these, Lumber Room, Nicholas's dialogues from Lumber Room. So all of these are the ones that are going to, give you about everything. Okay, yes, actually, if I have to share about my answered essays, I have to look for it. I'll share it in the group. You can have a look. Okay, I'll surely share because you have requested, I'll surely share. But for now, I can only, I'm give you points about how to write, and you can take a screenshot of this page. If you, take a screenshot of this page and keep about how you should. Now it's time to work on your quotations because literature is like towards the end of the exams. So then you have enough time also. Sit and write down your quotations, take a separate paper. And for poems, don't do that. Please don't do that for poem. Poem from the textbook you can learn. For prose, drama, and novel, sit and write your quotations. At least go write 6 to 8 quotations for each of the chapter. Trust me, the day before my literature paper, I did this. And also, Language marks, yes, I'll come for that. VOS. What do you mean by VOS? Can you please tell me? Don't use short forms. Okay. Then quotation is done now. Language. So language is a good question because most of us have this, way of writing according to how we talk. That's totally wrong. Okay. We have a way of writing for our comprehension questions, and that's it. That is like how you should follow it. Always literature questions, when they ask, copy a part from the question and write in the answer and write your correct answer. That is a complete answer. You get full marks for it. Now, when you ask like who is the author of this poem, or these lines are taken from the poem blank, and and it was written by, full answer, complete 1 mark. Okay. And then if you come to language in another point, don't write like she said like that, this is how we understand. No, write it in a formal way, explaining how the situation starts, how it's going on. Don't write like you're talking to your friend. Literature paper is not your friend. Literature paper is going to give you marks. So how respectful you treat it is going to give you good marks. Have that in your mind. Okay. You treat it like, sir, you're going to give me marks. So I have to, you treat it with some respect. That's how you communicate with the paper. Most of the time, try to communicate with your paper, because I know it's not going to talk back. Because talking back is going to happen like after 6 months. But now how you deal with your paper is what it's going to portray. Okay, after 6 months. I think you'll understand what I mean after 6 months. Okay. Which tense must be used? That's based on how you are going to write. Tense in the sense, now when I am writing, I will most probably write it in the past tense because the story is now like happening. Or if it's a question based on the future, then I'll use future tense. But most of the time, I have never come across using present tense. That's there. But mostly past tense and future tense is what I use. And I hope you're clear about the language doubt. Is everyone clear? Thumbs up. Okay. Right. Hope it's not too long. I was requested something else. Yes. Vendor of sweets, how you write? That's a very challenging part. Writing essays for your novel is a challenging part. Make sure you have, again for this also, you have 4 to 5 quotations ready. Okay. For your novel, write quotations for each character. Okay. I would say get quotations for each character. If for Jagan, okay, example, vendor of sweets, maybe because Jagan's character is an important character, for Jagan, maybe have at least 5. Mali's maybe have at least 4. Grace, 2 to 3, because she is not a very prominent character. And other characters likewise have a number of dialogues written, so that you're going to read it again and again. Literature, if you read it more than 5 times itself, it will just stick to your head. You can write it with that itself. So have for each character when it comes to novel. That is what I can say for novel. You have to have quotations for each character. Prose and drama based on situations. No, normally we can explain 2 quotations. Don't do that, because you get marks only for 2 quotations then. Because exam paper, it's not, the teachers who have been marking our papers for the last 2 years are not going to mark. They don't know your face, they don't know your name. They will have a marking scheme, and that's how they're going to mark. So they look for root words and quotations. Quotations have marks like at least 3 marks, 2 to 3 marks for quotation. So don't lose it by writing only 2. As much as you can quote from the book and write. So I wrote for 3 sides. My 4 essays, final 4 essays for my exam, I wrote for 3 sides, full sides. And I had time. Don't worry about the timing also. I had extra 10 minutes to check my paper. That's because of how much I practiced for my context. Now, if you all had joined my first session, you all would have understood how much I saved time to context. 5 minutes means 5 minutes only for one context. You can't go more than that. That is what I trained also in the first session. And my last 10 marks context, I spent 5 minutes means 7 minutes. Because I know the theory that's happening there. So do that 5-minute styled questions again, once again at home. I'll provide you the marking scheme that I wrote. Please keep practicing this. This is more than enough for your literature paper. Okay? And that's also how much you work, okay? Because you have to be honest and do those questions. Word limit, don't worry about the word limit. 15 marks means you should write a lot. Because you think 15 marks, they'll just give? No. We have to write a lot and prove up answer. I mean, question. Okay, I'm having more questions. Let's see. And how to increase marks from 11 to 12. So increasing marks from 11 to 12 or 13 is based on the style of writing, language, grammatical errors. You have been, working on your English, so your grammar has to be perfect. Quotations has to be good, and what you are proving. And please, very important, read the question properly. Very important. Okay. Now, happened to me once, not for English literature, for another subject. I think it was Sinhala. So I actually got the question. I understood it wrong, but I wrote it. I kind of wrote a lot, expecting a full 10, more than 10 marks for that essay. I ended up getting very low marks. That's because I understood the question wrong, wrote all the provings wrong. So don't do that. Read the question and do a drafting work. Every time this draft is very helpful. Okay, when you get, example question from voice kind, we're trying to like prove that it's very ironic. Okay, so when you get that voice kind ironic part, you know you have to write 6 points. So divide like this. Okay, the first point you're going to talk about how the 1,000 corpses lie. Then you're going to write about how the mother's heart hung as a humble button. You're going to write about how the speaker keeps on mentioning boys kind again and again. Okay? So like that, you can write, have a flow chart for your essay. Don't think you're wasting time. You're going to do all of this under 5 minutes because everything is over here. No, you're going to just fill it out on a paper. So for all your 4 essays, quickly jot down like this. The 6 points that you're going to write after reading the question properly. Very important, read the question properly. Jot down what you need also properly. And if you guys need my number, you can find it in the group. It will be there in the group. Yes, 1.5 page. No. Yeah, 1.5 pages. 3 sides. Yeah, 1.5 page. Yes, correct. So, yes. Any other questions I would take? I think I've explained pretty much everything and how to do your essays, how to like draft your essays and everything I have given up. So you have to tell me now. Any other questions? The points should match the questions. Yeah, obviously. If not, no marks at all. First, write the quotation. Then start explain. The above lines explain the... And if you can add a literary device also in the explanation, if there is. No pressure. If there is, add a literary device. It adds more points. And if the question is about literary devices, make sure what you have memorized, write it. If you have a thought of, that will forget the lines of the quotation, just write it down like simply in words. Like, voice kind, where 1,000 corpses lie. Write it, shortly and keep so you won't forget it. Okay. So then, again, through my number, I'll send all the documents, so then you can find my contact. So, yeah, I have another question. Miss, would you be able to mark it? Yes, if you have written an essay, if you want my help to mark, or if you want any help with answers, you can contact me and I will help you out. But if I don't respond, please wait because I'm having a busy week, but I'll try my best to get back to you all and help you all to do your questions. After writing the quotation, should we explain it in... yeah, you have to explain your opinion. That is why they're giving you the question to prove. But it has to be related to the context. Make sure that is also there. Right? I hope I have answered all the questions. Do we have more other questions? Like the ones who didn't ask at all, you can ask too. So yes, again, coming back to the resources that I have to send forward to you all. So I have to forward the answer PDF that has all the answers written already in it for the tude, the entire tude, except for the novel questions, okay? Novel questions I'll write and send separately. Then I will send this paper also, maybe like adding more points, and I'll send this what I've screenshot now. I'll send that. And the Kahoot link I'll send so that you can do the quiz again and see alone. And maybe you can learn it as a flashcard part also. Miss, I know all the things, but then I don't know how to put it into words. What can I do for that? I can explain, but then I won't improve. Okay, so improving your vocabulary is not the point here. Don't worry about your vocabulary at this point, okay? Because we're towards the end now. If you're doing exam next month, don't worry about your vocabulary right now. Improve your writing. Your writing skills are important because vocabulary, not everyone is going to, pronounce everything right. I mean, spell everything right, because in a hurry, we all do mistakes. When I would have done some mistakes in my paper for the, in the writing hurry. So don't worry about your vocabulary. If you know stuff, try to write now at home. If you practice, start your writing practices. Your writing flow should be in a good level for you to do your essays. And your grammar should be good. That is all what you have to focus right now. You want to get a solid 85. Okay. So solid 85 and all, I can't say what you should do now, because this entire session was how to improve your marks from a good level. Now, mine, I improved from a B to A. I got an A for my O levels. I had a B for my mocks. So from B to A, and from school, like we had a strict marking for our essays. So we couldn't get more than 10 for our essays. So I know that when the strict marking was that strict, I knew for my finals I could go for more than a 12. And that is how I wrote my essays as well. So from B, I went to an A. That is how it was. So I kept doing questions. My sir that I went to for the last few months, he did those 5 minutes questions with me. I saved a lot of time. I learned everything deeply. In your context, the last sub part is very important. Make sure you write for the amount of marks given to you. That is very important. They are giving you marks to write a lot. So they're expecting that from you means you should write that much. Only then your answer will be considered a valuable answer. Context, make sure you know your spellings, as I said, and your author's name, your poem name, and the speakers don't always, target the person. Make sure like they ask who is the speaker of this poem. Explain about the speaker. Don't directly go and tell, if they ask you the speaker is the from which poem. I can take. Can you give me an example? Nothing's coming to my mind. I don't know. Nothing is coming to my mind right now. Yeah, Lahore Attack, if they ask you for the speaker, don't tell Kumar Sangakkara, okay? You don't directly write like that. Speaker of the poem is someone who is affected or someone who was affected by the commotion, or someone who was injured in the attack. Write like that. Don't mention the author's name for a speaker's name. Then who is referred to as he and all, you can write there. And don't write names, okay? What else can you write? And the last question, as I told you, Miss, when they ask in the context, the attitude or tone, what do they mean? Tone in the sense, attitude or tone in the sense how the speaker's tone is. Like sad, kind of, disappointed, happy, joyous. Like his tone. Now, when you tell something, okay, when you're in a happy mood, the tone is kind of joyous, right? Happy tone. So that's what you mean by tone and attitude. Attitude is your state of mind. What is the state of the mind of the speaker when he's delivering the dialogue or delivering the, I don't know, the lines. Yeah, breakfast also, right? Okay. So I think I have summarized everything that you need to know, like overall about English literature paper, and I have given you all the resources I have. So the last one thing is I have to forward about an essay I wrote. So I'll try to find and send. If not, I'll try to arrange something. Let's see. Do you have any other questions? One final time. Okay. Then are we done? Oh no, we have one more question. Effect created. Effect created is, the kind of the lesson learned the moral of the story, effect created, the result that happened because of that situation. That is what effect created means. If you have these kind of questions, you can text and ask. Maximum time we should give for an essay 20 minutes. Make it 15 if you can. Possible if you can make it 15. Maximum you can go for is 20. If you have saved more time from the context questions, then you can give more time for your essays. Don't get too excited when you know all the essay, when you get the essays and if you see all questions that you have already prepared for, don't get too excited as well. Try to jot down the notes, because sometimes when you get too excited, you tend to forget stuff. Okay, based on experience. So that's it, I guess, for the day. Then yes, we'll call it a day, I guess. Thank you guys for joining and staying for the entire session. I hope this was effective and you found it useful. Whatever I spoke for the last 3 5, then that day 3 hours, today 2 hours, 5 hours. I hope everything was useful and everything. So I'll send all the resources in the group. Just give me some time. I'm trying to deal everything. In your opinion, what point? Okay, I am not going to give guesses because guessing and me is not something that I can go with. I have never guessed for any of my exams, my O level, A level, both. I never guessed a single question that I would get, because when you guess and if you totally believe that, and when you go and sit for the paper, it's a total disappointment. So I don't like that disappointment. I avoid that, and I learn everything in a way. I try to handle things in a tactical way, making it easier for myself in a practical way. That's how I learn. So I don't do guesses. I'm not going to give your guesses and keep your hopes up, because it's the government we're talking about. We don't know how the paper is going to come out. So let's hope for the best, study everything and go. Okay. So wishing each and every one of you all the very best for all of your papers. Do well, and may you achieve all what you want through this exam. And I hope everyone will give me a comment about how your paper was after the exams, inshallah. Let me know how it was, and I hope to see you all again, okay, in future. So thank you everyone for joining. Bye.